Hello and welcome to a new edition of Vaughan in Vivo. Yes, this is a new program, a new day, but the same situation. The situation doesn't change. No, the situation is your English is not perfect. You need to improve or you need to learn. And so you and I together, we will work. We will work. Haciendo contracción, we'll work together, hand in hand, to remedy the situation. Remediar la situación. Remediar tu mal. We will work together to remedy the situation, to solve the situation, or to resolve, resolver o solucionar, to resolve the situation. So, shall we start? Shall I start? ¿Empiezo? O sea, estoy pidiendo tu aprobación o tu confirmación de que yo puedo empezar. Entonces uso la expresión shall. En los libros de gramática dicen que shall es para la primera persona del singular y del plural en el futuro. Shall I go? I shall go. We shall go. Sin embargo, en el inglés moderno es will, siempre para el futuro. I will go. I won't go. We will go. We won't go. Pero shall sí se usa. Y mucho, ¿eh? It's used a lot in the first person singular and first person plural when you are asking for confirmation or you're suggesting something. Voy a sugerir que comencemos. Entonces, buscando tu consenso en esta sugerencia mía, yo digo, ¿empezamos? En español utilizáis, curiosamente para mí, el presente. ¿Empezamos? En inglés, no puedo decir, do we begin? O do we start? Eso es el presente habitual. Do we start significa empezamos habitualmente. Pero si digo, empezamos ya, empezamos, digo shall. Shall we start? Abro la ventana. Shall I open the window? Pongo el micrófono aquí. Shall I put the microphone here? Pongo los libros en el centro. ¿Sí? Shall I put, what do you suggest? Do you agree? Shall I put the books in the middle? Shall I put the cup of water on my right? Shall I use this camera? Or do you suggest I use the other camera? What do you suggest? What shall I do? All right? Y la famosa frase, bueno, señores, ¿nos vamos? Shall we go? Se dice muchísimo, todos los días en los restaurantes. En el mundo anglosajón se dice, shall we go? Buscando consenso de los demás. Sí, vámonos. Yes, let's go. But first, somebody suggests, shall we go? Okay. Bueno, shall we start? Shall we start? Okay. Number one. Él, mi amigo Pablo, él es una persona de mente cerrada. Okay. He's a closed-minded person. He's not an open-minded person. He's a closed-minded person. Closed-minded. Closed, cerrado, guión, mente. Minded, pero poniendo ed. Es curioso. Closed-minded. Diestro zurdo. Right-handed, left-handed. También contiene un hyphen. Hyphen es guión. A hyphen. Una persona zurda is a left-handed person. Left-handed. I'm not left-handed. I'm right-handed. Or I'm ambidextrous. Are you left-handed, right-handed, or ambidextrous? Are you open-minded? En este caso, abierto mente. Pero convirtiendo mente en un verbo como si fuera participio, como mentado. Mente. Open-minded, closed-minded. An open-minded person is a person who listens to different types of opinions and makes a decision, but the person is open to other possibilities. A closed-minded person, on the contrary, is not usually open to listening to other people's ideas or opinions. That person is more stubborn. Stubborn is obstinado. Terco, testarudo, is more stubborn in his opinions. He believes he is the possessor of what is right. Tiene coto privado la razón. And so he's more closed-minded. Certain people are open-minded, certain people are closed-minded. It's independent of the political or ideological spectrum. You have people who are closed-minded at every point along the spectrum, and you have people who are relatively or very open-minded throughout, a lo largo y ancho de, throughout this ideological spectrum. Open-minded, closed-minded, hard-headed. duro de mollera, de cabeza. A person who is hard-headed is usually a person who is close-minded. Usually, a hard-headed person is a close-minded person too. All right? A hard-headed person is a person who's stubborn, obstinate, okay? He doesn't change his opinion very often. All right, never changes his mind. He's hard-headed. Okay, I don't recommend you be hard-headed or close-minded. I recommend that you be open-minded. Open-minded. Open-minded people enjoy life more. They listen to different opinions, they consider these opinions, and then they act accordingly. They act in line with their convictions. Okay, and these are usually open-minded people. All right, then we have narrow-minded and broad-minded. Una persona de mente estrecha, que no tiene anchura de miras. Okay, that person is narrow-minded. Okay, a narrow-minded person is not necessarily close-minded, but he's a person who doesn't have the ability to look laterally and see other opportunities, very narrow-minded. Sometimes you see horses or donkeys or mules wearing, I think you call them in Spanish, anteojeras, blinders. And the donkeys, sobre todo las norias, and the donkeys can't see laterally. They can't see what's next to them. They can only see straight ahead. Some people are like this on their ideas, and so they're relatively narrow-minded. Narrow-minded. A person who's the opposite is broad-minded. Broad, broad. Todos conocéis la calle Broadway de Nueva York. Significa literalmente gran vía, ancha vía, Broadway. Okay, Broadway. Give my regards to Broadway. And Broadway is a very important street in New York City, one of the most important. But broad is amplio. Wide is físicamente ancho. Okay? The Diagonal in Barcelona is a wide street. The Castellana in Madrid is a wide street, not a broad street. Aunque Nueva York se llame Broadway, se puede decir Broadway is a wide street, because broad is usually figurative. Figurative. A person has a broad culture. Tiene una cultura muy amplia. Pepe has a broad culture. He's not narrow-minded, he's very broad-minded, and he knows a lot of things. However, strange about Pepe, he's a broad-minded person. He knows a lot. He has experienced a lot. But as he has gotten older, as he has aged, a medida que haya envejecido, as he has gotten older, he's become more close-minded. He doesn't listen to other people's opinions anymore. He has his own opinions that he thinks are correct, and it's impossible to penetrate his escudo protector, his protective shield. Okay? So he's become very close-minded. He's a very intelligent person with a broad culture, but he has become close-minded. Okay, recapitulando. Estas palabras tienen todo guión en medio. A hyphen con Y, H-Y, P-H, hyphen, como suena, but with Y and P-H. H-Y, P-H-E-N es la palabra para un guión. Hyphen, un guión entre dos palabras, con palabras compuestas. Zurdo, left-handed, left-handed, convirtiendo la palabra hand como si en una especie de palabra extraña, como si fuera un verbo, y convirtiéndolo en participio. Handed, con ed al final. Left-handed, right-handed, hard-headed, obstinado, close-minded, mente cerrada, open-minded, siempre convirtiendo mind también en una palabra como si fuera un verbo, en forma de participio. Open-minded, close-minded, narrow-minded, broad-minded. Okay. I recommend, of course, naturally, I recommend that you be. Yo recomiendo que usted sea. Eso es el subjuntivo en inglés, en español. En inglés también tenemos el subjuntivo al estilo español, sobre todo con el verbo recommend, insist, and suggest. Y en este caso he usado recommend. I recommend that you be an open-minded person, a broad-minded person, and whether you're left-handed or right-handed doesn't matter to me. Whether you're left-handed or right-handed doesn't matter to me. And hard-headed? No. Don't be a hard-headed person. Don't be stubborn. Be open to ideas, okay? And if you have ideas and you're convinced your ideas are right, that doesn't eliminate the need to listen to other people's ideas, because you never know. You could be mistaken in your ideas. So be open-minded. Now, el que sea usted zurdo o diestro, me da igual. El que sea. Whether, con WH al principio. Whether, suena tipo atmosférico, que es weather, ¿no? Pero yo aspiro un poco más la WH. Whether. Hay mucho aire aquí. Whether you're left-handed or right-handed doesn't matter to me. But I recommend you be open-minded, broad-minded, and not hard-headed or closed-minded. Okay, so let's switch, shall we? I'm tired of this camera. Let's go over here. All right, the next one. Estoy preocupado por las ventas, ¿eh? Estoy preocupado por las ventas. Escuchad bien. I'm concerned about the sales. I'm concerned. La D suena en inglés. Es una D dura. En español tenéis dos Ds. Tenéis una D dura y una D casi no existente. Por ejemplo, hada madrina, hada. Las hadas juegan a los dados. Hada, dado. Dado que los dados están en la mesa, la primera D es una D dura. La segunda D es una D suave. Dado, No decís dado. If a foreign person, especially un guiri americano o inglés, if an Anglo-Saxon person comes to Spain and is learning Spanish, and you listen to their accent, you will notice, if you pay attention to the letter D, you will notice, instead of saying, dado que las hadas juegan a los dados, the guiri will say, dado que las hadas juegan a los dados. Entonces la D al principio, dado, la D al principio y la en medio suenan igual. Dado, de dura, okay? And in Spanish, dado, okay? La segunda, the, no es una D en inglés. Okay. Concerned, no concerned, como se dice aquí, Madrid, okay? It's Madrid, all right? Concerned. I'm concerned about the sales. Estoy preocupado por las ventas. I'm concerned about the sales. The sales are falling. They're falling. We are in times of a recession. And in times of a recession, you have to make an extra effort. You have to make an extra effort to maintain sales. You have to run as fast as you can simply to stay where you are. That's part of life. I'm sorry, my friend, but life is not always un lecho de rosas. Life is not always a bed of roses. Bed en inglés significa lecho y cama. Por ejemplo, el lecho de los ríos, the river bed. Okay? All right. In un lecho de rosas is a bed of roses. Life is not always a bed of roses. We have ups and downs, altibajos, ups and downs in life. Booms and recessions, or las crisis, as you say now, a crisis. And so, in times of recession, people consume less. People are more conservative when using. Uso when, cuando, usando, literalmente, when using, que se traduce a la hora de utilizar su dinero o emplear su dinero. People are more conservative. En inglés decimos conservativo, no conservador o conservadora. La gente es menos o más conservadora. People are more conservative a la hora de utilizar o emplear when using their money. And they spend less. They consume less. The sales fall in many different companies, and it creates a downward spiral, not an upward spiral, downward, forward, backward, sideward, toward, okay? Ward is rumbo. Downward es hacia abajo, una espiral hacia abajo, especie de vorágine. It's a downward spiral in consumption, and everybody begins to suffer. And that's a recession. And so normally the sales fall in the different companies and different industries. Even in the English teaching industry like mine, el sector de la enseñanza de inglés o subsector de la enseñanza de inglés, my industry. Se dice industry en inglés para sector de actividad económica, no sector. En inglés, sector se refiere a sector público o sector privado, y ya está. The public sector, the private sector. I work in the private sector. The government and the government employees or civil servants are members of the public sector. También se usa sector en economía, en macroeconomía, for primary sector, secondary sector, and tertiary sector. Pero quitando esos usos, se dice industry para el sector de actividad industrial. The automotive industry, el sector de la automoción. The computer industry. The chemical industry. The pharmaceutical industry. The English teaching industry. But usually in a recession, all industries suffer. Very few industries experience a boom in times of recession, okay? Maybe the lawyers, maybe the legal industry, okay? Because there's more litigation, more legal problems, especially, who knows? But I'm not a lawyer. So, I'm concerned about the sales. Estoy preocupado por. He dicho concerned about. No he dicho worried about. También nos vale. Yo podría decir, don't worry, be happy. I'm worried about the sales. I'm concerned about the sales. Y concerned viene de la palabra concernir, que también tiene el significado de referente a concerniente a ese problema. Eso es otro uso de concern. Concerning that problem. Pero si tú dices, I'm concerned, es que estoy preocupado. Pero concerned es una especie de preocupación que excluye la ansiedad negativa. Worried es una forma de preocuparse que incluye ansiedad. For example, if you have a 17-year-old daughter and she goes out with her friends and she leaves home at 8 o'clock in the evening and by 3 o'clock she's not back, you can become concerned, but probably the word we use is worried. Es que estoy preocupadísimo, es que no sé dónde está. I'm really worried. Maybe we should call the police. Okay? In this case, it's more common to be worried. Now, concerned es una preocupación más o menos sana y normal que hay que tener para que las cosas funcionen bien. Hay que tener cierta preocupación y entrega a las cosas. Let's be concerned. La formación es una preocupación constante en esta sociedad. Pues, pero nadie pierde horas de dormir debido a ello. It's a training or education is an ongoing concern in Spanish society. And in my company, training is an important, employee training is a continuous concern. It doesn't mean we're worried about it. So cuando el Señor dice, estoy preocupado por las ventas, I'm concerned about the sales, it means he's worried, but he's not losing sleep. If he's losing sleep, he's worried. If he's not losing sleep, he's concerned. Okay? Y fijaos muy bien en la pronunciación, concerned. Okay. Estoy confiado en el futuro. I'm confident. Estoy confiado. I'm confident. In the future, I'm confident, of course. We are in times of a recession, but bad things never last forever. And besides, there are opportunities everywhere, even in the worst times. Sometimes there are a lot more opportunities in hard times than in good times. You have a saying in Spanish. ¿Cómo se dice un dicho? Saying. El verbo decir es to say. Más ing es un dicho. Me han dicho que has dicho un dicho. They told me you said a saying. Saying. There's a saying in Spanish, a río revuelto que nace pescadores, which means that when things are problematic, or in this case there's a recession, there are certain fishermen who fish well in these moments. And that means that every dark cloud has a silver lining in English. Cada nube negra, oscura, tiene un borde de plata, que está ahí. Okay, which means there are opportunities, even in bad times. And now you have an opportunity, now, to concentrate more on English because industrial and commercial and professional activity is slowing down. Se está ralentizando, slowing down. So you have time to lift your head above the water, swimming, because in boom times you're swimming as fast as you can. Now you have time to raise your head or lift your head above the surface of the water, otear el horizonte, make some decisions concerning your personal development and training, and move forward. Move forward with these decisions. And now perhaps is a good moment. Now, maybe it's the best time. So I recommend that you make a New Year's resolution, aunque no sea año nuevo ya, that you make a New Year's resolution that this year, the next 12 months, I'm going to concentrate on English. And besides, I have this strange teacher who comes on the television every day, talks to me, sermons me, all right, but at the same time teaches me in an interesting way that makes the language more attractive. And to finish, I have about 4 minutes left, I think. To finish, I'll finish right in the middle. Okay. So, estoy preocupado por las ventas. I'm concerned about the sales. Estoy confiado en el futuro. I'm confident. Confident. Como la pasta profident. Confident. Confident. Que no significa confidente. Significa confiado. I'm confident in the future. Few. Future. Fijaos en la pronunciación. Few como unos pocos, unos cuantos. I have a few. There are a few objects on this table. Future. Como el inicio de la palabra iglesia. Church. Porque la TU en el centro de la palabra, en medio de la palabra futuro, la TU en inglés suele tener sonido de chu. Como chufla. Future. Future. I'm confident in the future. The future is in your hands. Tomorrow is the first day of the rest of your life. So if you make the decision today that starting tomorrow, when you get up in the morning, you will be confident in the future, you'll be surprised that the probability that your future will be more interesting than your past will increase considerably. It's a question of attitude. La actitud con C en español, pero con T pura en inglés. Attitude is one of the most important elements in success. If you have the right attitude con T, that will produce good aptitudes con P. All right? Attitude, aptitude, it's an interesting interconnection there, an interrelationship. But first, you need to have the right attitude. And part of the attitude is being confident. No digo ciegamente, pero casi prefiero una confianza ciega a una falta de confianza. If I have to choose between blind faith, fe ciega, o confianza ciega, over lack of confidence, falta de confianza, I prefer blind confidence. Okay? So, estoy confiado en el futuro, I'm confident. Tengo confianza, I have confidence, con CE al final. Pero solemos decir estoy confiado, I'm confident. I'm confident in you. I'm confident that you will make an effort. I'm confident in your future. Concerning English, I'm confident that if you stay with me every day, together, we will reach the promised land. La tierra prometida, the promised land of English in this case. Uno más. El lugar estaba muy abarrotado. El lugar, the place, was very crowded. Una muchedumbre, la multitud, crowd. 2 is company and 3 is a crowd. I think you have a similar expression in Spanish. Con dos es compañía y 3 ya es una multitud. 2 is company and 3 is a crowd. Okay, the crowd, el público. Cuando hablamos del público en el estadio, Vicente Calderón, Bernabéu, No Camp, we talk about the crowd. Listen, sometimes a person who is a radio broadcaster who is broadcasting the football match or the football game, saying, goal, goal, and they turn the microphone and says, listen to the crowd. And you can hear the crowd. Okay? Y abarrotado is lleno de muchedumbre, literalmente, crowded. All right, crowded. This room's not crowded. It's just me and Juan Luis, the floor technician. We work together. Solo hace falta 2 personas para emitir esto a nivel nacional. Inglés, which is what you need. And this is the best show on television because it helps you. Don't you agree? Don't you agree? This is the best show on television. I think so. And I hope you think so. And I hope you prove it to me by learning English. Thank you very much.